And as you lie down on the ground, notice if your body is letting go and sinking into the floor, or it's being held by the tension in the muscles. And start comparing one side to the other, one body part to the next. And this time I'm not going to guide you, I'm going to let you be drawn to the areas in your body that you feel that maybe it's being held more. And make a mental note of it, because we're going to compare as we go along. And I'm sure that as we are letting go and breathing a little bit slower, things are already changing. But nevertheless, there's still differences between one body part to the next. In the last class, we talked about pulling the legs like a marionette, like it had a string attached to the knee. And we're going to do it again. We're going to take the right knee and we're going to attach a string to it. And we're going to take the toes and attach a string to the toes. And we're going to drag it outwardly so that there's a bend in the knee and the foot is being dragged passively on the floor, all the way until there's a place where you can turn the knee and make the leg come up so the foot is standing on the floor and the knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. And let it go and drag the leg down. Boom, let it go. And let's do it again. A string. No, let go of the leg. A string and drag the knee outwardly. Yeah. And notice how the hip moves with the leg until you find a place in the hip joint to turn the leg and make the foot stand and the knee up. There is a place there that feels just right. If you do it too early or too late, there's a little bit of tension. So let go of the leg. And do it again and again and again, trying to find out the rhythm and the place in the hip joint where the leg wants to turn in. And allow the hip to move with the leg to make it the easiest you can possibly make it. The easiest you can make it. And then let go that leg and start doing it with the other leg. Or before you go to the other leg, just feel the differences between your lower body on that side and the other side. And then when you're ready, start with the other side. Drag 2 strings outwardly until you find the opening in the hip joint, and you can turn the leg so the foot is standing and the knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. And then you let it go, boom. And then you start again. You attach the strings and you start pulling. The leg is passive. It's an important key word. It's being done to the leg, and you're looking for the opening in the hip joint. Is the hip moving with the leg on this side like it did on the other side? Is it moving More, less, different. When you let the leg go, try to let it really go. Like you don't need it anymore. Like just let it go, boom. And let it go. Good. And rest for a minute. Let it all go. And again, feel how the pelvis is now laying on the ground. What is the relationship? Is it a little bit more friendly? Or is it still being held like you're protecting? What about the legs, the thighs, the heels? And we're going to go from side to side now. We're going to go bring one leg up in the same manner by pulling the string. And when we let it go, we start bringing the other leg up. So there is something to do in terms of coordination between the pulling and the letting go. As one comes up, the other one comes down. So now we're not throwing the leg down. Now we're trying to figure out the rhythm. When the one goes down, the other one comes up. It's kind of like swimming. And you're allowing the pelvis to roll from right to left and from left to right. And maybe you can have an image of some kind of a honey substance in your hip joint, or Vaseline, or something that will allow the leg to roll in the hip joint in a smooth way. You're not trying to make a big motion, you're not going to the extreme. You're trying to find the lubrication, the ease, and the coordination between the two sides. It's like laying on your bed in a swimming pool and slowly moving. The legs are not going up and down straight, they are going from the side. The string is pulling the leg, the knee, just like we did earlier. The going down is somewhat straight, but the going up is being dragged. And let it all go, and give it a rest. Give it a rest, and as you're laying there, notice the bone in between the two sides of your hip. How is it meeting the floor now? Your buttocks, your thighs, your heels, your back. And go ahead and bring one leg up the same way from the side and to a standing, and the other leg from the side and up to a standing, and stay with the feet flat on the ground and the knees pointing up to the ceiling. Your lower back is really quiet, your hip is quiet, and the only thing that's happening is that your legs are standing. We're going to take one leg, let's start with the left leg, and we're going to move the whole foot flat on the floor And we're going to go in a straight line forward. Do not move toes, don't lift heels, don't move toes, and come back. Just go forward and back in a straight line. Try to stay away from being ambitious and going really far. Just go straight and back, and notice the relationship between the foot and the knee and the thigh into the hip as you go forward and as you go back. What happens to your hip? Does it move like it did when your leg moved to the side to side? Is it moving differently? How differently? We're using the foot every day to make steps. You're doing the movement you're doing right now many, many times a day. So you have a chance now to kind of put it under the microscope and notice what your lower back is doing to enable the going straight forward and coming back. Notice what your breath is doing. Are you holding your breath in hope that maybe you can go 1 inch further? Are you breathing out on the way and in on the other way? Or are you breathing without relationship to the movement? Can you do the movement and sing at the same time? Or talk at the same time? And rest. Close your eyes for a minute and rehearse that movement with your eyes closed in your head. Visualize your foot sliding forward. Which part of the leg is lengthening? Which part of the leg is contracting, shortening? What's happening to the hip? Is there rocking? Does it affect the lower back? How much? Can you sense it without doing it? And go ahead and open your eyes and do it again. Slide completely forward without lifting anything, and slide all the way back in a straight line. And see if there's any more clarity to that wave. And can you help by moving the lower back and the hip just enough to facilitate that sliding forward and sliding back, or reflecting it? And the next time, come back to the standing position. Let both legs go down and rest. How does your hip meet the floor, your back, your legs? Is the flow more friendly? And go ahead and drag one leg back up to a standing position and the other leg back up to standing position. And with the same left leg, we're going to move now from side to side. Again, we're not lifting toes or heels. We're just sliding the leg inward and outward. I find myself moving the right foot a little bit forward so I can actually go underneath it, but you don't have to. And you already know that the pelvis will be wise to incorporate it into the movement. So what would your hip do now when the leg is moving side to side? And when we went forward, we had like a vision of maybe a railroad track or something, a straight line. Does the foot make a straight line from side to side? Or is it arcing a little bit? If you are drawing it on a paper underneath you, what would it look like? And rest in the center. And in your mind's eye, rehearse that movement. And trace it on that paper or the mattress underneath the floor. Did you make a one line? Was it wide? Was it narrow? What did your sacrum, the bone in between the two sides of your hip, did on the floor? Is it a circle? Is it an arc? Did it dig in? Did your lower back participate? Could you feel a movement in your ribs? In your lower vertebrae? And with those questions, open your eyes and do it for real again. Side to side. No toes are lifting, no heels are lifting. The foot is staying flat on the floor, delivering the information from the ground up to the brain. I'm sure that people that are walking barefoot have way more sensory input in terms of balance and safety and maybe more things that I don't even know about than we that are closed in shoes. How much movement do you have in your hip as you're moving your foot from side to side? If you're not concerned about the size that the leg is moving, the distance, but the connection between the hip and the ribs and the lower vertebrae, maybe you can get more information and more connections. And all right, and stay in the center, lower both legs and rest. Can you sense a difference between the right and the left side of your body? And if you can you give it a description, a feeling, lightness and heaviness? And let's drag with the string, one leg at a time again to standing position. From the side, being passive, let it go, boom, let them go. A string is pulling the knee from the outside up. There you go, from outside up to standing position. And stay in steady position. And with the same left leg and the foot, we're going to make a circle, a flat circle. So the toes and the heel are not lifted off the floor, you're just making a circle. So you're going to the forward, you're going to the side, you're going up towards the hip, and you're going to the inside towards the other leg. Whether you're going clockwise or counterclockwise is not important. We can change direction in a little bit. Does the movement of your foot, the circling of your foot, being reflected somewhere else in your body? Obviously, your knee is making a circle. Does your hip make a circle? Can you feel your lower lumbar making a small circle, or at least being lifted away from the floor and getting closer to the floor? Can you feel your ribs moving forward and back? Is your head participating? And rest in the center. Remember the direction that you went, because we're going to go into the opposite direction in a minute. But before we do that, just rehearse it in your mind's eye, as if you're looking from the top down, and see your foot circling, and you see the rest of your body echoing. And when you're ready, open your eyes and go in the opposite direction. Notice if your breath is smooth or is it jumpy. Notice if you have areas that it's hard for you to circle the foot and it gets kind of choppy. Is there anything that you can do to make it more smooth? Can you make the circle maybe smaller? Or help with your eyes? Or with your head if it's not moving? And rest in the center. And let go of the legs. And notice how the left side is on the mattress in comparison to the left side, to the right side, sorry. Is there a different sense? And when you're ready, go ahead and roll to a side and come up to sitting and to standing. And we're gonna see what it feels like in standing. Take your time. And close your eyes for a minute. And feel how it feels to be inside your own body. We didn't do much, and we did a lot. If I would ask you to stand on one leg now, would you choose the left side that we worked with, or would you choose the right side? Start shifting the weight a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left, and see which side feels safe and stacked, and which side feels your normal feeling. And open your eyes and do the same thing. Open your eyes open, look. Good. And let's go back down. Which side did you like? The side you worked on or the side
The side I didn't work on.
the side you didn't work on?
The side I didn't work on felt stronger.
Yeah. It's really work.
Uh-huh. And one of the things that they got.
So as you lie down, we're going to do the 3 movements on the other side. But before we actually do it physically, just rehearse it. And teach your brain that when you move straight, the rest of the body is responding in this and that. I'm using those words on purpose. And then visualize yourself going from side to side. And teach your brain that it felt on the other side is this and that is happening. And making a circle, this is what's happening in the rest of the body. and let it go. And attach an imaginary string to your knees and your toes and drag one leg from the outside all the way up until you find the opening to make the foot stand and the knees stand up, pointing up to the ceiling, and then the other leg from the outside being dragged passively until the foot is standing and the knees up with the ceiling. And we're going to start dragging the right foot forward and back. And hopefully your body already knows the feeling and knows how to incorporate the hip and the lower back and the rest of the spine and the neck and maybe the eyes. Maybe there's a small movement of your nose going up and down along the ceiling in the same line that your knees is doing. And how is your breathing incorporated into this motion? And rest in the center. Let your hip relax, let your low back relax. And we're going to add another component. We're going to do it again. And we're going to allow the eyes to travel down as the foot goes forward. And we're going to allow the eyes to travel up toward the forehead as the heel and the foot comes back towards the heel. When the toes go forward and the knee go forward, the eyes go like they're trying to see what's going on with the knee. And when the knee comes back, the eyes go away up on the ceiling. And see if the eye movement makes the movement in your hip and your lumbar even clearer than before. And rest in the center. And we're going to differentiate and we're going to move the eyes in opposite direction that the knee is going. So as the knee will go forward with the foot, the eyes will go up on the ceiling, like going away from one another. What happens in the neck? What happens in the hip? And when the knee will come back and the foot will come back, the eyes will go closer to the knee. And when the knee goes forward and the foot goes forward, the eyes go up on the ceiling. And there's a bigger arch in the lower back and a bigger arch in the neck. And when the knee and the foot comes in, the eyes go closer to the knee and the whole back is on the ground. Can you feel all 5 toes touching and sliding? Can you sense the height of your arches? And rest when you get back up. And bring your left foot a little bit forward. And you're going to start sliding the foot right and left. Maybe a straight line, maybe not so straight. Let's see what this side is bringing to the plate. How is your hip moving as you're moving your foot from side to side? Is your head and eyes rolling? Arms, sorry. Are your eyes going with the direction of the foot? Again, no need to do big movement, big slide. Try maybe to slow it down and see when do you incorporate the hip, when do you feel movement in your lower back, and rest in the center. And let's try to work with the eyes in the opposite direction. So as the foot moves out, the eyes move to the left. And when the foot is moving in, the eyes go to the right. When the foot is moving towards the right, the eyes go to the left. When the foot moves back in, the eyes go to the right. Does it take the head with it? Are you able to breathe without interruptions? And come back to the center and rest. Lower the legs. Let your body rest for a minute. And the imaginary string, pulling the knee from the outside, drag it on the floor, the foot is on the floor, until you find a place to turn the leg so it stands. And then on the other side, allow the hip to roll to the other side, drag the foot on the floor until the leg comes up and you can put the foot on the ground and the knees on the knees pointing to the ceiling. And in this position, we're going to make the circles. So go ahead and start making small circles. Make sure that you know if you're doing it clockwise or anti-clockwise, so we can reverse it. And I'm not going to ask you to move your head in the opposite direction. We'll skip that one. How much is your pelvis rolling? How much is your lower back rolling? How much are the ribs participating? How much is the head participating? And rest in the center. Let the leg, the joint in the hip rest. And start rolling from the, making the circle in the opposite direction. And see if the pelvis is participating, your lower back is participating, your ribs, do they come up off the floor and back into the floor? Is your nose making a circle? Are your eyes making a circle? Are you one? And are you breathing? And rest in the center. Let the legs go straight. And notice the space between your body and the mattress. And see if you can recollect the way it felt when we started. And ask yourself, is the mattress closer to me now? Is my body closer to the mattress? Where is the holding that I had before? Do I still have any? And in your own time, roll to a side, into a sitting position, and then in standing position, and we're going to check our balance.